So the purpose of this video is to tell you what I think my greatest accomplishment in life is. I feel like the greatest accomplishment for me is being a mom. Um, Most people think that that's kind of a crazy thing, but for me, when I think about my life, I think that is the greatest accomplishment because for me it was a big deal. So just pretend you're 6 or 7 years old and you're a little girl. What is the most thing that you always play and want to play with is dolls and play house. For me, that's what I did growing up, and I played with stuffed animals, I played with dolls, I played with everything and pretended to be the best mom that I could be. Later on in high school, they decided that we would get these fake dolls and we would all have to take them home and be the best parents that we could be, and we got graded on it. Mine ended up having colic, and mine cried non-stop for 3 whole days. Finally, my parents had it, and they stuffed it in a closet, and they said, "We will talk to your teacher about this because something's wrong with your doll." Well, most people can't do this, and you can't just walk away from your child. I had to do something. So my teacher talked to me later, and apparently my doll had a malfunction in it, and she was surprised that I even made it that long. And she told me later that I would be the best mom ever. So I tried so hard to get a good grade on that, and I ended up getting an A later. I was really proud of myself. Later, I didn't realize, but whenever I first got pregnant with my first child, you hear stories growing up about people having problems with their pregnancies or women having trouble even getting pregnant. I was actually told that I probably could never have children whenever I was younger, and I never had any troubles. And God's blessed me with 2 beautiful babies, and I couldn't be any happier. So, with my first pregnancy, I was working with a girl, and she had just gotten pregnant, had some troubles throughout her pregnancy, found out that the baby was going to have a lot of things wrong with him, and they gave her choices, and one of the choices was abortion, and she wouldn't do it. She ended up giving birth to him. He ended up passing away 2 days later in her arms, and she was one of the strongest women that I know for going through everything that she went through and still carrying the baby and doing what she needed to do as a mom. And I asked her later, we talked, and she said if she could do it again, she would do it tomorrow because it made her a better mom. Then later on, whenever I gave birth to my little boy, everything was perfect. It was great. I prayed harder than I've ever prayed in my life. And I had another friend that gave birth to a little boy, and she found out a week before that he had passed away, and she still had to give birth to him. They had the funeral. I had an infant, went to the funeral, and I sat in the parking lot and cried the whole time because I didn't think I could handle it, because I almost felt guilty for it. So I didn't even know how to react to any of it or what I could do to help her through it. And there wasn't a lot that I could do, but I just tried to be there for her. And I ended up going home to my little boy named Jace and was so excited, and I prayed and prayed. And then later I ended up having a little girl named Anna. Everything was perfect. I was super excited and glad that everything was fine. But I just almost didn't even realize what people go through to have babies, and so many women don't ever even get the opportunity to have babies. And I looked up online, and according to Tommies.org, 1 in 4 pregnancies will end up in a miscarriage. And I didn't even realize how much could go on and how much was involved in it until I had children. And I feel grateful that I even got the opportunity to. So it made it even more real for me about having children. So later on in life, I got a job at a bank, and I was doing really good, and I was the assistant vice president. I was really proud of my career and everything that I had going for me, but I always wanted more time with my children. So I recently took a position at the school where they attend. So I'm really excited about that. But to me, trying to finish my bachelor's degree and working full time as a mom only makes it more real for me to prove to my children, you know, that you can do this stuff when you're working and being a mom and everything. And I just, you know, want to prove to them that they can do this and they can get a bachelor's degree and do everything that they need to do and be successful. So, in conclusion, I feel like my biggest accomplishment in life is being a mom, and I wouldn't change a thing about it either. Money or anything couldn't compare to me to being a good mom and being blessed with both of my children. I mean, look at them. Can you blame me? Aren't they cute? Can y'all say hi?
Hi. Hello.
So, for me, being a mom is one of the biggest accomplishments that I could ever ask for.